The regime in Caracas is still intact, even though the United States has taken out the illegitimate president, Nicolas Maduro, and his wife. The regime, the criminal regime in Caracas is still intact. How is that possible? Well, you have to understand that the regime in Venezuela is or was a combination of criminal organizations led by Diosdado Cabello, the head of the Cartel de los Soles. It was not Nicolas Maduro who was the head of the Cartel de los Soles. No matter what the United States and the Justice Department say, it was Diosdado Cabello. It always was. They had a power-sharing agreement. So the criminal enterprise in Venezuela paid Cuba with oil for protection. And Cuba had their bodyguards. That's why the bodyguard of Maduro were all Cubans. Maduro was the Cuban envoy to the criminal enterprise. So now what they did, Donald Trump, Marco Rubio, and the rest, was to take out the Cuban envoy, which in a way is good, because he's the Russian-Cuban representative there, but they left the criminal enterprise intact. And the repression today, January 5th in Venezuela, is worse than ever. They are going door to door, forcing people to show them their cell phones, to make sure they do not have any message or information about what has happened in Caracas. So this went from bad to worse in Venezuela. Obviously, Venezuelans are celebrating in quiet in their houses that Maduro is gone, but it does not mean that freedom has come to Venezuela just yet. Marco Rubio was interviewed about this, and he said the operation to extract Nicolas Maduro from the heaviest defended military base in Venezuela, Fuerte Tijunas in Caracas. I know that very well. I've studied it. I've looked at and studied the house, the bunker of Nicolas Maduro. So I know how complicated it was, and a big kudos to the US forces who pulled this off. It was a mission impossible that they accomplished. To go in 3 minutes and take out the whole bodyguard and take Maduro before he could even get into his bunker. Now, that said, the task now is Diosdado Cabello. The mark is on him. He is the one who needs to be taken out. He was and is still the Minister of the Interior. He is the head of the police. And he is the head of the criminal enterprise, and he controls the guerrilla. The guerrilla works for him. I know that for a fact because I was kidnapped by the guerrilla ELN in Colombia and taken to Venezuela and interrogated by people working for Diosdado Cabello. Even though they tried to hide it, it was clear from their questions. So Diosdado Cabello is now the next target.